Alrighty, in this video, which is day 7, I can't believe we're 1 week into the tech startup. But in this video, I completed the authentication system using Supabase, and I also fixed up some of the UI. Actually, no, I didn't. I made the UI for the login. That's what I meant to say. But this is a monumental time in our startup, at least the coding part of the startup, because we got that stupid authentication thing out of the way. I don't like authentication. But some of y'all are watching this saying like, Nazar, why did you go back to Supabase? I got flamed on my video on day 5 talking about my switch to Firebase. People were not upset, but some of y'all were, let's just say, upfront about me switching to Firebase. So I switched back to Supabase because of y'all, and it's been going well. I was a bit preemptive about my decision, and I apologize for that. I got a little nervous about I was just messing up a lot, and I got confused and I got scared. So I went back to Firebase and did that. But thankfully, we made the switch back, and we're back on the go. So today, what I worked on and what I'll show you is the authentication with UI. So there's better UI on the authentication. We actually used the older version of Supabase because that's all I found on documentation. We implemented not a password email sort of authentication. All we did was just the user's name, what like their name is, their email, and then they just press login, and they get a email verification thing to their email, and then they can verify their email that way. So the verification is just much more modern. Like, I don't like passwords, you don't want them to worry about passwords. So all they got to do to log in is just verify their email, go onto their email address, click that link, and bam, they're verified. Also, I worked on a bit of the UI for it. Again, everything in the UI looks like shit. It doesn't look good, and I know that, okay? I'm getting some UI developers. Excuse me. I'm getting some UI and UX developers who actually contacted me on my email, and they seem pretty cool. They just want to help with the open source, and I'm sorry if I forgot your names, but I will definitely be shouting y'all out when we do some things. But just know that right now things are looking good. Okay, I don't really know where this is going, but I feel like that's normal in like a startup environment, right? Like, you don't really know what's gonna happen day to day, and right now I'm just taking it one step at a time. Like, as I said in the last video, we're gonna start adding some more features. So tomorrow, what I'll be doing is some maybe some CRUD operations. So if you don't know what CRUD is, it's create, read, update, delete, and it's in every app. They're just functionalities. So like, if you want to add something, you use the update feature, or sorry, the create feature. If you want to change or edit something, you use the update feature. So working on that, and super excited. Like, I'm actually very happy with where things are standing. And I was a bit nervous, I can't lie, where today I was a bit nervous about Supabase. I'm not used to it, and when you're in this new environment, a lot of developers like us know it's scary. When you're learning a new language, you're just thrown in the fire, you're just getting your hands dirty. It could be pretty nerve-wracking, but boy, that feeling when you get the program working, it feels amazing. Well, yeah. But nonetheless, let me know what y'all want in this series, okay? I'm posting what I think you may want. I don't know what you want. I'll be frank, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. I'm just posting and talking about the code I'm writing. But if you want me to like actually code with you and like just show y'all how I code and learn and get shit done, I'll gladly record a lot of my coding session. It's pretty boring, I may tell you. It's just me looking on YouTube, watching tutorials on like a specific part and asking ChatGPT and stuff like that. But if you want that, then let me know, okay? And if you like me talking to the camera like this, also let me know. Maybe I can do more of each. But nonetheless, right now we have the UI and the UI of the login ready. We have the functionalities of the authentication ready with Supabase, And soon we're adding the CRUD operations where users could actually do something. I don't know what that's gonna be yet, but I'm super excited. And I'm just gonna talk for a little bit more, that's fine. But this water is really disgusting. It's Canadian spring water. I live in Canada, in Ottawa, and this, not my favorite water. Everyone agrees. This is not the best water. But all is good, just have to be grateful. Other than that, there's nothing really going on right now. I'm just chilling here with my dog, reading books. But this startup has been a lot of fun. There's not a lot of things that get me out of bed. I used to be like mentally ill. I had OCD and depression. This took a really deep turn. I was depressed and I had a lot of mental illness. And the only things that got me excited, no, not in that way, you dirty fuck. The only things that got me like out of bed were really just my family and business and coding. Like those were the only things that helped me out. So I love what I'm doing right now with the startup, even though I haven't made a lick of money, nor am I close to that. Just creating things and getting shit out there. Just creating things, really. Just making things with your mind and your hands is one of the happiest and most calming experiences a man can do. And it's truly a shame that a lot of us are not taught that. In schools, we're just taught to like write and be good students. And I don't mean to be that guy with like the conspiracies. But it's honestly a shame that we aren't taught that. And if you are depressed or you're lost with whatever you're going through, create. Just create. That's what I found makes me happy. I'm not in the best mental position right now. If you know anything about OCD, you're always in that position where you could fall back into that anxiety-induced state. But I'm in a better position than I was years ago. And I truly think it's because of me creating and allowing myself to forget about my problems. Nonetheless, this took such a deep turn. We're gonna go to the coding aspect. I'm gonna show y'all how the authentication part is working. And yeah, so see you in 1 second. All right, so right now we are in the application itself. And again, please don't mind the UI, I'm working on it. But if we just go into the folder and just run npm run dev, and hit localhost 3000. This is what the application is looking like right now. And I'm gonna make myself a bit hidden. So I'm just gonna put myself like up here, just like that. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so this is the login you see on the left, okay? This is how we're gonna authenticate users and how we're gonna get their names. All we're doing here is we're connecting to Supabase and authenticating through our Supabase accounts. Now I can't show you everything because there's some private things like passwords and stuff like that that I know some of y'all might want to get your hands on. But if you go to the authentication, here's where the emails are stored. Again, caca, it's just so silly. But I'm authenticating through here, and I'm also authenticating through the SQL editor, which is right here. And these will be used for later, but remember when we did the tables in the, excuse me, damn it. Remember when we did the tables in the first or second day in our startup? This is what it looks like right now. Essentially, we just have the user ID, the email password, the company, the listings, and everything like that. Nothing special yet. But for now, you can just forget about this aspect. We're just focusing on authentication right now. And this is what it looks like, okay? So let's say you're the user. You want to, whatever, you want to make an account with us, okay? So I'm going to go to my Gmail and I'm going to switch accounts. I have like a secret email. I don't know. Do I have it? Whatever. So all we're going to do right now, right, is I'm going to remove my email and I'm going to do this. I was going to use another email, but it's okay. And then I'm going to do gmail.com. So this is my email, and then the user can just do like Nazar. You see how it says magic link sent successfully. So if I go to my email, you're gonna see this right here. This is a no reply supabase.io, and the user could confirm mail, and then bam, they are signed in, okay? Now you're gonna say like, how does the user know? I haven't implemented a way for them to know if they're signed in or not, so I'm gonna have to do that. But what's cool is that this magic link does not, like the login dialogue thing that shows up here is not gonna be shown anymore. So every time I refresh, it's not gonna be shown here. And what's even cooler, right, is when the user signs out, this is just a login page. They go back here, the page comes up again. So it knows when they are logged in or logged out. That's really important because we want them to not, like, we don't want non-logged in users to have access to like applying to stuff and using the application, because there could be some hacking and stuff like that. So you may be asking, Nizar, how did you do this? Well, it's actually quite cool. So let's just go to the code right here. And there's some red things here. I didn't solve this yet, but oh, okay, wait. First things first, right? You may think I'm a genius, but all I did was I didn't follow the tutorial, but this guy on Free Code Camp is working on a Twitter clone, and all I did was take the code from the authentication Supabase, changed up the table, which was here, like I changed up this table, and I applied it to my Next.js application. That's all I did. It took 3 hours. Um, but that's how I got authentication. So it's full stack Next.js, Supabase Twitter clone, full course. So shout out to Free Code Camp. That was an amazing video. But in terms of the code, and also I'm all over the place. Look, and every time the user is logged in, look at at 1:30, which is right now, as y'all can see, we verified this email. So it verifies and makes it work. Cool. So we know that everything is stored, and we have everything stored. All right, I totally apologize. My mom just came. She's greeting everyone. But I got work to do, Mom. I got freaking work to do, Mom. God damn it. All jokes aside, here's how the authentication works, okay? First things first, I installed Supabase. Then I made the Supabase provider.tsx. I got this boilerplate code. I created like the email and I actually don't need the username part anymore, but nonetheless, we created an auth get session using Supabase, and we just implemented it into the form. So remember when you guys saw the form right here? Let me just refresh here. You saw this right here. All we're doing is we're taking the data that we set through like the email and the username, and we implemented it into Supabase. So as y'all could see right over here, the inputs, the type is an email, and the value of the email that's here, as I talked about earlier, will be sent to Supabase and put in here, okay? That's all we're doing. And same thing for the full, like your name, and yeah, so that's right here. So it is mostly this piece of code right here where we just put the data in the input, and then we sent the data, which is like the sign up data and the sign up error, to the email section with their full name and stuff like that. But other than that, what we did was we made the middleware, which is this. And all middleware is like we're allowing users to have access to only specific parts, and we're creating sessions. So like, when you are in when you're in an app and you're not logged in and you try to go to a specific page, but it asks you to like log in. That's what the middleware part is. It doesn't let the user access certain pages without being signed in. So let's say they want to go to the job section, they're gonna get this page right here. So stuff like that makes the middleware part really helpful. And other than that, we just created like the Supabase types, which is the data that we're gonna use later, which has stuff like the job application, stuff like the cover letter, the ID, the status, stuff like that. You don't have to worry about that yet, but for now, just understand that all this is doing, okay, is we're connected to Supabase. We put in the .env file, which is right here. I can't go in it because it'll show some data. We made this value whatever the user puts in. So whatever the email the user puts in is the value that is going to be sent to the database, okay? And whenever they send everything, an email verification link is sent, okay? And every time it's successful, it'll say magic link sent successfully, and the username already exists for names that have already been used, all right? And other than that, I can't really think of anything else. Let's just see here. No. Oh, right. Okay. And just one more thing. If you want to know how the email is being sent, it's through this. So the user would just made like a sign up with the OTP, and then we take the email that the user puts in and we send it and ask for verification with a magic link. Okay? That's all Supabase is. It's really cool, and I'm really happy I went back to it. And that's really it, right? As I said earlier, you know, the values are in here. It's sent to the email, and you just confirm, okay? And I didn't put the username because, let's just see. Maybe I put it here somewhere. Yeah, I gotta put in like the username, but that's it, okay? I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I'm glad if y'all are enjoying this. That's what we want. But all we're doing right now is we made the authentication. We know when they're authenticated when this is not here anymore. So this is always gonna be here. So if we refresh, it's gonna be here. When they sign in and authenticate, it goes away. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more functionalities, but for now, I'm really happy with the finished authentication, the Supabase, and the UI. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.